Episode 4 of the skin series for Fortnite. Let's get into the next skin. This one is an interesting one. So the Galaxy skin, the Andromeda skin that came out right before, well, the actual release of this skin was September, I think it was September 17th of 2024, sometime around there. Sometime September 2024 was when it came out. There was a announcement in August of 2024 about this skin in particular being released to people who had been playing on anybody who played on Fortnite mobile from I want to say between 2018 until like August of 2024. Something like that for a very long period. And there were times where, like I had mentioned in the OG video, where I tried to jump back into Fortnite, and there was a time where I did try to play on Fortnite back when it was available on mobile. And before I got a Samsung, which was in June of 2019, that was the first time I had swapped over from Apple. I had an Apple iPhone from, I want to say it was May of 2013 was when I got my first iPhone. And Samsung and all the Androids out there were phones that, frankly, were not to the degree of what an Apple was at that time. They just weren't. And the case can be made that it's very similar, but it just depends on what your preferences are. But anyway, I swapped over to an Android in 2019, and I think in 2020 I tried playing Fortnite on mobile just to see what it was like. And again, I wasn't interested in Fortnite as much, so I didn't really do so much. But I played. And with the whole degree on which you get this skin was if you played on mobile at any point in time for, for those between those time frames. And I saw that and I was like, well, let me play on mobile again just to double verify that I can do this. And I did. I got back onto mobile, and you've seen some of my videos where I've played on my backbone or not on my backbone, etc. Backbone controller. And I have another skin that just came out as well. I don't really have a story behind this one because obviously you all saw when I got this skin on my videos. But this skin I saw and I was like, I've always wanted a Galaxy skin, but I didn't want to pay money for it. I just wanted to get one so I could have one. Plus, from what it sounds like, this skin is never going to come out again, from what it sounds like. So when I saw this skin and its availability, I sat there and I was like, yeah, I got to get that. I have to find a way to get that. So I then played a little bit of mobile, whatever. And once I did, I realized, okay, once the time comes for this skin to come out, I'm going to get it. My nephews, people who see us play from time to time, whether it's on the PlayStation 5, whether it's anywhere else that I go, whether it's on my phone, and anybody who sees this skin, they're like, how did you get that skin? That skin is crazy cool. And I was like, well, first of all, you had to do the thing. You had to make sure you played on mobile. And they're like, you can play on mobile? I'm like, yeah, on Android, you can play on mobile. Because Android is viewed as like its own computer. Whereas I'm not saying that iPhone doesn't. I haven't had an iPhone for almost 6 years. So knowing that I haven't had an iPhone for almost 6 years, I don't know what iPhone's capabilities are. My wife has an iPhone. That's its own story. That's its own world. But in regards to, like, I don't know what iPhone's capabilities are in regards to Fortnite. From what I hear, you can only play it in the EU on an iPhone. So really, the minimal amount of people who already play on Android/mobile gaming in regards to Fortnite, the chances of them having this skin are slim. Plus, when I first saw the uniqueness of this skin, I mean, just look at the hands. The hands are completely blue, like the inside hands portion. Obviously, you got the little spikes on the elbows, and then you look at the skin itself. I mean, minus the hair, it is completely galaxied out. And I thought, well, again, I want a Galaxy skin. I just don't want to pay the absorbent, ridiculous prices that they usually cost in the shop, because they are very aesthetically amazing. And it's so cool how, again, you can spin it when you're moving or running around. It all looks very, like, similarly choreographed, coordinated. It looks beautiful. And when I saw this, I was like, I got to get this skin somehow, some way. And lo and behold, come September, when the range of the time in which it would be released to users who's played on mobile came out, I got the skin. And honestly, ever since I got the skin, people have been up in arms, like, that is crazy. I want that skin. Like, people have been like, I will buy your account to get that skin. Not very many people, but there are kids that my nephew hangs out with where they're like, you got the Andromeda skin? Like, they'd see me have it on my phone for a minute, and they'd be like, you got the Andromeda skin? I was like, yeah, man, I got it. And they're like, dude, I'll pay your entire account for that. I was like, okay, well, how much money you got, first of all? You're a little kid. Like, what kind of money? Like, duh, you don't probably have any money. But it's like, that's the mentality of the kids, right? They're like, that skin is dope. I want that skin. How do you get that skin? I was like, you had to do the thing. And here we are. And now we have this skin to this day. And I won't lie to you, I don't play with it very often. The only time I really play with it is to flex a little bit, to say I have it, so that people can be a little excited. But I will say there are times to play it. Like, for example, if you are playing in like a side game, or if you're playing in like a tycoon, or if you're playing a game where you have to hide and you're just your main character, this skin is not bad. It's obviously only really good when it's like you're playing in like a really dark area, because it looks like you're just a kind of a little figmented like fairy dust like thing. Especially if your back is turned, you can't see nothing. Like, it literally looks like nothing, and those hands aren't as apparent. But when your back is turned, it looks like you're just a pole. And it's hard to see, and especially if you're up high. One of the keys that I've found to these skins, especially if you play on like non-ranked, whether it's build or non-build, which I usually play 0 build, but there are times where I play build. If you're up high and when the map turns dark, nobody can see you. Like, if you build, especially if you build and you build up high, obviously someone will see you if they're really focusing, but if they're just glancing and looking around, they're not going to notice you in the sky. They're not going to notice you. If you're in a very like heavily oriented area within the map, they're not going to see you. You're going to show up as nothing. Like, overall, you're going to be kind of like a glint to nothing. You will look like a star. That's why it's called the Andromeda. You look like a galaxy skin. That's the one beauty of these skins, is when you're trying to blend in some regard in a nighttime atmosphere. During the day, it don't matter. You stick out like a sore thumb. The brightness of the skin, whenever the skin turns reactive, which I don't think this one does, but let's say you have a gun that's reactive, because sometimes wraps can be reactive, it really puts a threshold on the visual of the skin, which sticks out like a sore thumb. I would never play with this skin in ranked. Unless the map was specifically like translucent, where there were sections of the map where you could legitimately hide and run around because it looks like a giant neon atmosphere, I wouldn't wear this skin in a ranked map, because you stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody can see you. It's easy. When the map does turn into a night atmosphere, it's better, but it's not preferable, because you can still be seen. Again, if you're up high and you got high ground and you're playing non-ranked, it's glorious, because it is hard to see. It is hard to pinpoint. And from a distance, when you're up close, when you're within medium range in a ranked match on a regular map, you're visual, you're clear as day, as they would say. So that's the glory of this skin. It's mostly a flex. I mostly use it as a flex, but for the most part, I mostly like just looking at it and liking having it, to the fact that I do have it. Anytime, let's say, like, my daughter wants to play, or sometimes even when my nephew wants to come over and play on my PlayStation, he just plays with this skin. He just plays with this skin because he's like, I wish I had it. And I'm like, dude, I don't blame you. It's pretty freaking cool. And honestly, when it comes to all Galaxy skins, they all have their aura to them. But this one I feel like has a separate flex because you had to earn it a certain way. And on top of the fact that I've always wanted a Galaxy skin, just because to say I have one, but also not to say I have one. But in case there is an instance where you do play in a translucent map, this becomes an availability. And so that's the Galaxy skin that I have, the Andromeda skin. I like it. Again, I don't play with it too often, but when I do, it's generally built to get the ooh and the ah of like, how did you get that? And then I explain the story that I have here. So anyway, thanks again for watching. That was episode 4 of our skin series. The next one will again be another personal one, and it'll be great. So, okay, thank you.